What does the richest person you know do for a living? He owns Nvidia stock and invested heavily into Bitcoin in 2009. He was a millionaire, but Nvidia stock turned him into a multi-billionaire. Before he was just a crazy rich Asian, but now he's an ultra-crazy rich Asian. We're not the same financially, I'm just a normie, but he always asks me for advice on some rich person shit like what's the difference between owning a literal compound in California versus 600,000 acres in Texas, and I have no idea. He invites me to his uber-wealthy Asian family dinners and shit. I don't know if any of you know what it's like eating $50,000 mango and melon of gold-plated toothpicks in a Grateful Dead hoodie surrounded by people in designer suites, but it's really awkward. Had ACL surgery 2 years ago. I remembered when I woke up, I cried LOL. The first person to talk to me was my anesthesiologist. I remembered asking him how much he made because I was doom researching everyone who was working on my knee. LOL, in clear shock and slight annoyance, he gave me a range 400K, 600K, based in NYC. There you have it, kids. Want to find out how much a doctor makes? Book yourself an appointment. My dad, 30-plus years in banking, was VP of credit at a well-known AG finance company arm. Best guess was around 180K base salary towards the end, but he had stock options, pension, 9% 401K match, and his yearly bonus was close to 400K. After he retired, he just worked on his investments, stock options at 65 per share and sold at 200. Invested in Nvidia at the right time. Lives off pension/401K with zero debt and has millions invested. If you're wondering if I'm spoiled, after college I asked for help with buying a car. Found an old Acura for $3,500. He made me sign a contract for 24 months at 4% interest, made me provide pay stubs for my job to verify I could pay him back, put himself as lien holder on title, the works. Even made me do the amortization schedule. Hard ass, but it's made me much better for it. He owns a Dairy Queen, a whole building complex that houses another Dairy Queen, gas station, and Dunkin'. He also has his own firearms manufacturing company as well. I always joke with him and ask him, when am I inheriting your businesses? And he always says, if I gave them to you today, you'd give them back to me tomorrow. This shit is killing me. Real estate. He set up a biz where he buys houses for folks who can't qualify for a loan, rents the house to them for 3 years, then sells it at 6% interest. Since the value goes up more than that, they get a house with equity and at cheaper rate. He gets guaranteed interest payouts. Made millions by time he was 30. Must admit, wish I was that smart. Ever wonder who cleans equipment, shelving, etc. out of large chain stores after they shut down? His crew does that. I don't know how rich he is, but he just bought his third brand new RV and paid cash for it. Nothing. Got rich during .com era but cashed out before those bubbles bursts. Now he just travels and spends time in different parts of the world. Don't know the specifics of his money, but it's invested. So he's just living off of those earnings and not doing anything. Even the vacation homes don't go on Airbnb, and he's not a landlord. Just leaves them vacant, or his family uses them when he's not using them. Peanut farmers, and one or the biggest peanut exporters in the world. They're the richest family I have met, and know some of them intimately. They're good people and very low profile. Never saw any of them talk about money and riches. If you sat down to have a conversation with them, you wouldn't even know they're millionaires. My husband. He is a nuclear reactor operator for Duke Energy. He owns rental property at the beach and the mountains. He bought Nvidia stock just before it took off and has invested wisely. He told me when we were teenagers that we would be millionaires before age 35, and he was right. He is the kindest man, and you would never know he is well off. He makes sure his family is taken care of, and we want for nothing. Guy worked in asset management/finance/investing. He made a lot of money doing it and retired early. Then he sold pretty much everything he had, either sold or rented out his house, bought an RV, and lived for about 2 decades traveling the continent from Alaska to Mexico and everywhere in between the oceans, just camping and seeing stuff. I've seen pics of him in the Alaskan wilderness, then a month later he's at Burning Man in the desert, then a month or 2 later he's at the Grand Canyon, then Niagara Falls, etc. He says it's what he always wanted to do. Us friends joke that he's trying to hide out from some of his disgruntled clients. He's a farmer/rancher, owns something like 15 sections of land, makes most his money by collecting royalties from oil companies that he allows to extract oil and gas from his land. He drives an old Ford, 1980s, pickup, walks around at Christmas time and hands people he doesn't know $100 bills. I know quite a few wealthy people, but I don't know a single one of them that accrued their wealth through completely legitimate means. Come to think of it. Kinda goes along with the whole idea of you can be a good person or you can be rich. Lottery winner. Now I think he owns a bunch of fast food restaurants across the country. They built up and sold a sunglasses business. Neither of them had a college education or anything special. They just busted their asses and made it happen. Exceptional people, actually, quite possibly the most humble, normal, kind people I know. Now they spend their money helping people around them and doing cool shit. Reading through these really shows me how poor I am. The richest person I know is my uncle who works for the school district and makes $100K a year, lol. Architect. His father started and owns an architecture firm. They do hotels and malls and condos and such. Dude clears $180 per hour easy, but still claims he's not rich. He makes in an hour almost what I make in a whole shift. One is a tattoo artist, other works in marketing. The wealthiest people I know don't really work or understand what hard work is. Most of them kind of pretend to work and have convinced themselves that they work hard, but any real hard work would be a shocking surprise to them. Tax attorney. Net worth 400 mil. Super nice guy. Owns an oil rig in Texas, makes like $500 the hour. I know it's modest by most standards. Software dev. Startup he was a founding employee at, got sold for $250 million. My college roommate owns a giant landscaping company he started in high school. Probably has a net worth of 8 mil at age 45. I know a guy who invested in Walmart when it first went public, before any splits or anything. Richest person I know. College professor. At this point he really does teach for the students. He lives a modest life, but over the years has made a lot of lucrative connections. Think books, consulting, investments, etc. Car guy. We actually became good friends through car stuff. Dude is sitting on $500,000 worth of classics he has collected through the years alone. Nothing. She inherited it from her family. Her grandfather invented some kind of locking valve for industrial piping and eventually sold the company for millions. He set up a series of trusts for the family. They've been living off the trusts and patent payments ever since. Let us know in the comments what the wealthiest person you know does for a living. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more fascinating videos with true stories. Thanks for watching.